Star Trek Deep Space Nine. To Bobby and Clark. Check it out. Show. Alrighty, we are live. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to tweak that so that because I have a friend streaming right now, and I don't want to cannibalize their audience. I don't normally stream on Sunday night because I got work, but I was already doing this, and I felt like this is a good opportunity to kind of just describe what I'm doing or how this works. Now I just want to get the lighting up a little bit. Let me just get. Hey, what up, Keely Chow? Yeah. So I'm just I realized if I put the chat window on my top monitor and it's not white, it doesn't light up. Anyway, yeah, so I use my top monitor as a light when I'm doing table stuff. Let me just make an adjustment. Here we go. I got it. Go here. Save that. There we go. We need a little light because it's hard to see. So yeah, anyway, I'm just sandpapering my Gundam accessories kit right here. And this used to be a seam. And then I used a glass file on it, and it wrecked it. So, you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm using different grit sandpaper. It's good to see you, Keely Chow. So I came up with this brilliant idea to get rid of that remaining seam. Sand it, like, diagonally, because that's the only spot that needs any sanding. And then once I finish it, I can go, you know, and polish it. How was I doing this? I was holding this before differently. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no everybody here. It's good to see you, though, but yeah. And I figured maybe a few people tune in. Usually when I least expect people to tune in, people will tune in more, which is kind of funny. And tonight, it's a school night, right? As the parents would say when you're a kid, so I shouldn't be up too late. But I know I'm going to have trouble sleeping, so I figured why not? And so what I'm doing is I'm using these new sanding sticks, which I lined up perfectly before. I had them all lined up like it looked like one of those product sales pictures. They were like lined up in order, nice and neatly. But anyway, I digress. Okay, we want to make this nice and sharp. Who needs a USB microscope when you have a tight focus on your wide angle lens? All right, let me just get this adjusted. So now we're gonna do what I was doing before, which I'm actually I did two things. I know it removed so much material from the butt of this toy rifle that is getting close to the bottom, but I did a little like sanding on the corners to kind of get that curved shape back, you know, because I didn't want to make it too flat. So I don't know if that matters, but I felt like I wanted to have that slight curved shape. So I'm trying to like not be too aggressive with removing material now, but we do have to go up in sandpaper grit to get that polished look. And then I'm going to add water. So now we're at 1,000 grit. We got like up to 7,000 grit sandpaper. So we're going to see if this gets any smoother after we sand it. Now, I don't know if I should turn on the microphone on my webcam, but I feel like if I do this regularly, it might be like ASMR stuff if I like have the microphone on the camera on, because then people could hear the noise of the sandpaper going. I'm not going to do ASMR though, but you know, like there is a sound this makes. I got to research if there's like a special microphone I could buy or a trick for pointing a microphone at it. I don't really want to get my big microphone, and I have another big microphone like the one on my desk. I could put that on a fucking giant arm and use that to point the microphone at whatever I'm working on if I really want to convey the sound of sandpaper, you know, which maybe that would be the way to go. I don't think any Gunpla channels do that. I could pioneer the audio engineering of, you know, of this. You know, it's great. I'm actually using the camera to help me sand now. I wasn't doing that before, but it kind of helps if it's really in focus. It helps to have this big screen up. But yeah, it's amazing. I don't have like all of my lights on. I'm just using my third monitor to illuminate. Oh crap! I think I used 7,000, but I thought I said 1,000. Let's see. I think I have to do 2,000. I don't know. Okay, we're just gonna go back 2,000 grit. Right, that was 2,000. And go up to 3,000. I might add water soon. I don't know if you're supposed to add water the whole time, but I usually add water when I'm doing like slightly higher grit. This is out of focus. There we go. I'm trying not to give people vertigo by moving the stick too, like, wacky like. But I think this is pretty good. But if you move the stick like that, it's absolutely distracting seeing the sanding foam. Kind of interesting how that works. Ow, hitting the camera. The camera blocks the light. I definitely need to get a desk lamp in like a week. So yeah, for anyone watching, I put the Klobby link up. So anybody who wants to open up that channel, if they like Star Trek more than me, but also, if you like Star Trek DS9 more than me, I left the link. I pinned it up at the top. And if you're on a computer, you can actually watch two channels at once. See, people on phones, it's kind of hard to watch two things at once. Really? Hey, what up, Padawannabe? We got the Padawannabe in the chat for anyone else who's hanging out. You guys Zoid models. I used to like look down on Zoid, but then in retrospect, I see some cool shit. Now I remember a friend of mine was making his own Zoid. I don't know if he ever made his own Zoid, but like he was drawing a picture of a dog with that's what it was. I was like trying to be cool. I was like in Boy Scouts at the time, and a friend of mine was drawing a picture of a Zoid. I'm like, what the hell is that shit? And it looked like a dog with like satellite dishes on its back. I mean, they weren't satellite dishes, of course. But that was interesting. Like it had shit on it. Like it looked like a cyborg dog, or a robo dog. And I don't know if that's a type of Zoid or if he was like joining a contest for make your own Zoid, but I can imagine building Zoids is something like this. I mean, we know how Japanese get about their Gundam models. I mean, holy cow, what a fucking industry. I mean, like, I was gonna paint them to be like fancy like the rest of the Japanese kids, and I was like, nah, this is taking way too much time. And see, it's not so hard to airbrush. You just need to have the space for it, and you need to like have the ventilation. You can't just do it in your room before bed. Like I can sandpaper before bed. I can't paint before bed. I'd have to put on a gas mask and all that shit, or breathe in the fumes, which maybe I could go to sleep. Actually, right? You get the fumes, you get high, then you go to bed. But I think it would actually just give me a headache. So now we've moved on. We've graduated to wet sanding, and yeah, I add a little water to the sandpaper. I don't know, how much of a difference it makes, but I'm pretty sure it does. I started doing this when I was sanding 3D prints. I don't think you need to wet sand a 3D print, although people say you could. I just don't think most of the materials on a 3D print is really warrant wet sanding. But I mean, I've done it. The problem with wet sanding on a 3D print is that you have separate layers, right? And so what happens is the sandpaper, I'm sorry, the grit from the sandpaper seems to like get stuck between the layers of 3D printing, material of PLA usually. That if that's the type of plastic, if 3D printer melts, and you'll literally have these fine lines with white grit stuck between them. So if you sandpaper anything black, that's an annoying thing. So like wet sanding anything black, even dry sanding anything black, it makes a mess unless you plan on painting it. So I had like a black F-117 stealth bomber, and realistically, you don't need to paint something like that, right? So you should have it all in black. It's just polished or sanded to like the right finish. And instead, it got mad dirty between the lines. And realistically, I think I did clean it eventually, but it took me forever. Yeah, I think I did manage to clean it actually. That was like one of my first cool 3D printed items. But ships are cool. So what do we got here? We got the Padawannabe saying, I had the action figures when I was young, and many more through the years. The attraction was that I could build something that moved on its own. What? I'm sold. Hell yeah. Moving on its own is especially cool. I heard there was a transformer model that can do the transforming or some crazy shit. So if that's true, that's pretty cool. Someone mentioned it weeks ago on here when I was like doing some bullshit on camera. Oh yeah, I remember this is what I was trying to do. I was pointing the camera like this, so it lights the object. Hell yeah. But that's interesting. I didn't know they had moving Zoids. I know about the moving, like I said, Transformers someone mentioned about weeks ago. I didn't even know about that before. But it kind of didn't surprise me because I'm like, well, of course they would do that for Transformers eventually. Now, I don't know if you watch the original Gundam, but recently I was watching the original Gundam and they have a thing called a Haro. I have a ceramic Haro somewhere, but the Haro or Haro, Haro, it's like a ball-shaped robot that basically says one thing, Haro, Haro, and then like it does say other things actually. You know, I just remember it does definitely says other things because sometimes it's like an AI in a ball. So the first Gundam pilot built his own like ball-shaped robot called a Haro, and that his had legs, but it can also roll around. So like it must have had like a gyroscope inside to like roll around, and so it could roll around on the floor. It could walk on two legs and have like two like sort of like arms, and it could do things. It could do math. It could walk around and be friendly. It could herd the kids around if you needed like a kid sitter. Um, so that was kind of cool. A babysitter, I mean. But the Haro on the latest Gundam series, the very last Gundam series, is Mobile Suit Victory Gundam, and that's actually what I'm working on right now. So for the see, so you got like one of the beam rifles from the Victory Gundam. In fact, I bought this weapon set. This is a separate weapon set that came in its own box. I bought it. Where did I put the weapons? I don't know where I put the box. It's somewhere here, but I can trade a box for this. But I do have a box of weapons. Literally has nothing but weapons on the front of the box. Where did I put that thing? Huh. I had planned to show it on camera today, but no big deal. I'm kind of determined to find this. There was an Optimus, as Padawannabe says, if there was an Optimus that transforms on its own, does all kinds of poses. In fact, I should say if there is an Optimus that poses all on its own, I would hope it exists, does all kinds of poses and talks. Oh, shoot. They just allowed a Grimlock to go through production also. I don't know what a Grimlock is. A Grimdark. I was going to say Grimdark. I don't know what a Grimlock is, but it sounds like the word Grimdark from when talking about 40K, but it sounds cool. Anything Grimlock or Grimdark is probably cool. All right, I'm looking for this thing. I found it. I almost didn't find it. I was going to flash this on screen. So if I didn't find it, I was going to show you my latest purchase. I'm not buying any more of this shit until I build like at least one. But after I complete at least one more Gundam, I'll buy another one. But I bought like a basic, master grade, a high grade actually. So high grade is like the lowest one. Master grade MG is the next level up. And then there's like perfect grade or like metal grade or some bullshit. But yeah, you got this thing here, the original Gundam, right? And some people refer to it as Grandpa Gundam. First time someone said Grandpa Gundam, they said to me, "Ron, you should build a Grandpa Gundam." I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And then I realized it wasn't Santa Claus as a Gundam. It was the RX-78-2, and I want to get the master grade of this next because, for fuck's sake, you don't have an RX-78-2 without the core fighter. And so this cockpit area here is supposed to turn into a fighter plane. And that, would be great, right? Like, it ejects from the chest, basically, yeah. They don't have the core fighter picture on this box, which why should they? This is what I bought, however. Now, this Victory Gundam also has a core fighter. It does have a core fighter. So this cockpit area on the model from the other box does also turn into its own fighter plane. The difference is the arms are separate and they can be launched from the back of a truck. In fact, first 10 episodes of this series, the first 10 episodes of Victory Gundam, they're running off the back of a truck, basically. Like, they have, like, the cockpit or the core fighter on the back of one truck, the legs or boots on another truck, and the hangers or the arms on another truck. And they can be launched separately and docked in the mid-air. So this is what I'm currently working on. In fact, I was working on this one here, Beam Bazooka. It don't look like a bazooka to me, but they're calling it a Beam Bazooka. Most people collect Zoid models. Most people who collect Zoid models, limited movement like a bad action figure. The ones I have are toys, so small ones that have wind-up motion. Oh, that's cool. And then the large one is battery operated. So even wind-up is freaking cool. And I mean, wind-up, it's kind of timeless, right? You just crank it up and put it down, it works. Batteries, they corrode. You got to be careful with batteries, you know, having to manage. I lost count how many times I pulled rotten batteries out of a toy. I've gotten better at cleaning the contacts, so no big deal. Grimlock, the answer to my question is Grimlock was the T-Rex from Dinobots in the Transformers animated series. That's sick. I gotta catch up on that. It's been a while. Robotech was good. Okay, so you were a Robotech kid. I have some choice words for Harmony Gold. Gundam couldn't be a ripoff of Robotech. Literally, as I understand it, or slightly misunderstand it, but I believe I'm right. I could be wrong though. The man who did Robotech, his name is something Kawamori. Sounds like calamari, right? So Mr. Kawamori, I believe, was inspired by Gundam, and I wouldn't call it a copy, but he was inspired by Gundam. Is it possible that later Gundam series copied Robotech? I wouldn't quite say so, because Gundam never leaves the solar system. You know, like almost no Gundam series ever leaves the solar system. And that's one thing that I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's just a fact about, you know, the primary Gundam timeline and most others is they never leave the solar system, basically. Or like if they do, it's like it might be actually after this series if that fanfic I read was true. I read something, but I was like, I'm not sure. So yes and no. I mean, I'll give Gundam is a major upgrade compared to Robotech in some ways, but I love the Valkyries. I like it's like especially the original one where it looks like a fighter plane, and like it looks like an F-16. No, it looks like an F-14 Tomcat. You know, so I thought that was kind of cool. But more importantly, I think we want to just check through something here. So recently, I had like oops, I had a hard drive fall. Whatever. It's a broken hard drive. Good. It's already broken. So anyway, I picked up the Macross movie, you know, Super Dimension Fortress Macross, Do You Remember Love? No, I didn't upload it yet. I did a video on how to add subtitles. So what happened was, because Harmony Gold is a bunch of assholes, apparently, like, they tied up the intellectual property for the Macross franchise by extension somehow. And allegedly, they made an agreement recently, but I won't believe the agreement until I see, like, Macross 7 on Blu-ray. Like, right now, to get, like, a lot of, like, old, proper SDF Macross, not Robotech, to get anything, like, you know, not Robotech, the original material, I have to buy Japanese versions, or I have to just bootleg them off of a download site. At one point, I even bought the original SDF Macross series from a Chinese bootlegger on purpose, because, they basically bought the Japanese version of Macross. They added subtitles to it themselves and then reburned it to a Blu-ray disc. So I was like, I'm willing to pay you guys $30 for something that would otherwise cost me like 4 times as much without subtitles. Now, this I luckily was able to get for $35 on Amazon, but everything is Japanese. Like, the whole fucking thing is written in Japanese kanji letters. So I was able to confirm there were no English subtitles, and luckily I figured out how to add subtitles. Now, obviously, I can't add them to the disc. I could burn another copy with the subtitles, but I had to go through all that to watch a legitimate copy with subtitles, and I think it might be Harmony Gold's fault. Other than that, I just think that if you like Robotech, it's something. I like the two songs Min May does. Min May, I think, sings all of two songs in that version. If you want to hear Min May sing more than two songs, I urge you to check out STF Macross, not Robotech. But secondly, I'm joking around beyond that. It has a little more to it. You got like fucking like what was it like 35 episodes? And there's this one episode when Lisa Hayes is landing in like a shuttlecraft, right? Like in a shuttle plane to go to like the main base in Alaska or whatever. And the shuttle comes under attack, and the fucking plane, the seat she's sitting in the plane builds an escape pod around it. Like she's sitting in a fucking passenger seat on a plane, and it forms an escape pod around the lady, and she fucking is protected, and then the battle ends, and then the door opens on the escape pod, and she lands missing like one engine, but she's okay. And I don't know, there's so much material of that. So I watched like a few episodes of Robotech many years ago, and I liked it. I liked Robotech, I did. But then like one day I accidentally stumbled upon, original unadulterated, Super Dimension Fortress Macross, and I was blown away. And that's why I'm so adamant about, otherwise I would have just said, they're basically the same. So getting back to the chat here, and yeah, so it is a major upgrade in some ways, but there's something Robotech has, god damn, you got me calling it Robotech. There's something that Macross has, like something special. I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. It's really good. Like Macross 7, I feel like maybe I'm making a stretch. I mean, my opinion, I guess, but it feels like peak 90s anime. Like I would rather watch Macross 7 over Gundam Wing any day of the week. Any day of the week, I would rather watch Macross 7 over Gundam Wing. In fact, I'd rather watch a lot of things more than Gundam Wing. That's why I haven't really gotten around to watching it. I would sooner watch Gundam Seed, although I've seen it twice, so I probably don't need to see it again. Yeah, man, it was totally into the three modes, as Padawannabe says. It was totally into the three modes of changing to the planes. I was a kid, and this was so cool. Hell yeah, it was cool. I'm a fucking grown-up who's probably got the mind of a kid, and I think it's so cool. I couldn't tell you anything about the story back then for Robotech. Well, I'll tell you what, even if you watch Robotech now, I don't think you can tell me anything about the story, because as I understand it, like once you get out of season 1, it's like a different show. Like season 1 is like a mix of 3 shows, but you know what? They're making it mostly it follows the Macross story, basically, from what I can understand. But then when you get to season 2 of Robotech, like I think they completely switched to using different footage. So they call season 1 Robotech the Macross saga, right? And that refers to season 1, and that's cool and shit. I also bought another thing that didn't have subtitles on it. I bought Legend of the Galactic Heroes on Blu-ray. Now, the first time someone recommended this to me, they said it was like Gundam without the mechs. Now, I said that a week ago in Pacific 414's channel, and Cash Money was all like, "Nah, man, it's not like Gundam in space." And I get where he's coming from, but like for me, when I was being introduced to this, that was the hook that got me to watch it. And yeah, it's more like Game of Thrones in space, but they got big space engagements. I have like one model of a ship that I need to like print out more of and paint this. I need to finish painting this one and print out more of these. I printed out 2 more of these, and the printer fucked up on the back twice. Like literally right here, the 3D printer fucked up bad. And I was like, I can't use it. Like it was mad annoying. Like I could probably fix it, but like honestly, like I just wanted to print out as a cohesive piece the first time, and then paint it like that. But Legend of the Galactic Heroes, great show. I forgot why I mentioned it. Can't remember why I mentioned it, but let's get back to the chat. Hey, what up, Pacific 414? Holy cow, did you get like verbally? I just mentioned you. I swear, I didn't mention you. I mentioned your show, Pop Talk, and I was like, like literally, I said something. I said, I was mentioning Legend of the Galactic Heroes and the time that cast was all like, like getting tight that I compared it to Gundam, and I was like, look, man, that's what Brian told me, Nerdporial, because that was the hook to get me to watch it, and that got me to watch it, and I understand that Legend of the Galactic Heroes is not Gundam without mechs, but it kind of is. And other than that, I was ranting about Robotech. I was going batshit insane about Robotech, but it's okay. You're here now. I'm not gonna go batshit insane about Robotech anymore tonight. Okay, I gotta trying to get this camera angled here so I can like get the lighting to hit this. Ooh. So how you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Yeah, like first, I'll be honest. Like first, time I saw Robotech, I thought it was amazing, but I didn't even know about the drama between the legal drama and all of that. But once I was exposed to it with like the complete lines and script and storyline and um I ended up downloading a version later on, and I bought. Yeah, I actually have to mix the audio from the version I downloaded with the version I bought to add the English audio track to it. Now, I don't usually watch Macross with English audio, but I like to, if it's available, I like to always have English audio available. So if I've seen episodes already, I can rewatch it while I'm multitasking. So, I never do subtitles when I'm multitasking. Obviously, that's kind of hard to do. Yeah, so I don't have a real topic. We, like I said, jumping all over about mech and Harmony Gold being assholes, and Harmony Gold, the company that owns the Robotech IP and has blocked proper Macross from being released in the US, which is why you have to download it or buy it from a Chinese. It's not technically bootlegging. When you buy a bootleg DVD from a person who has it in a fake box that looks real, it's technically counterfeiting, but it's not really counterfeiting because they're not necessarily saying this is like legit straight from Sony. They're definitely not pretending to be Sony. Oh, speaking of Pac-Man, did you guys see the Pac-Man Nebula? I got a picture. I'm photoshopping right now. I actually did pretty good on it until I hit the undo button earlier, and I'm one step behind making it look amazing. But right now, I'm getting this polishing here. So the subject tonight, Mike, is polishing Gunpla. Well, sanding and polishing it. So if you go back to the beginning of this later or whenever, you'll see there was like a line here. This thing looked mangled. And now it looks like relative. There's not even a line there anymore. And that's because I put like, I swear by this. So if you put extra thin cement glue on the seam on the line between the two halves and sand it, apparently the line goes away. Like, how insane is that shit? Fucking material science is cool, right? I'm talking hood. I'm talking hood right now. Excuse me. Now for my David Chappelle impersonation. Nah, anyway. So yeah, we're just getting that. Like I said, getting rid of the seam between the two halves. Yeah, basically, you got it. Oh my god, Padawannabe. Dude, I wore another shirt the other day. I wore a gray Punk Waddle shirt. I don't know if I streamed that day. I might have recorded but not streamed. So that doesn't count. If I only recorded and not streamed, which will make my editing harder now, because if I have a video of me in a Punk Waddle shirt and I need to add footage to that video in editing, well, I'll have to wear the same shirt, or it'll be a wardrobe discontinuity, one or the other, I guess. So that could be a problem. I'm missing a couple of my sandpapers right now. I think I'm missing a couple. I'm looking for 5,000. Oh, here's 5,000. And then I can go to 7,000. But yeah, like Mike said, when has Harmony Gold been jerks about something? And yeah, I didn't know, but apparently they were like jerks and mainly like a real estate entity. It's very interesting. They're like the ultimate, like they're like the media patent troll company. See that like white mark there? That's from the sheet when you cut it off the runners. So I don't know why I can't get rid of that white mark. It might be a stress mark, but my God, I can't get rid of that white mark for the life of me. I'm gonna have to touch paint it basically, which I think I can do. So I think it's about as smooth as I'm gonna get it. Let's wipe it down and get it, see what it looks like dry. Well, this is it dry. What do you think? I feel like if I sand that corner a bit more, I could possibly get rid of that mark. I don't trust it. What I'm going to try doing instead is something crazier. I'm going to sand it again, but not today. But what I am going to do today is, I can't do it on camera. I got to look at this. There we go. I'm looking down at my work now. So basically what I'm doing is I'm putting the glue there to melt the two sides together. I might even put like an extra glue on there to make sure it really causes trouble. So I don't know if I just put too much glue there, but we put some glue there and we're going to let it vulcanize the surfaces again. I'm hoping that I can get rid of that stupid white mark, but if I can't, no big deal. Now, I should have put the glue on after this part, but yeah, you know, it'll be able to dry. So we're going to try buffing this out, but I'm going to try to skip a few levels of grit because I feel like we don't need to do all of them, right? You know, so... I watched a TV show today called Thunder in Paradise. Thunder in Paradise is like Hulk Hogan, basically, and it's insane. I actually thought it was going to be like bad, but I watched the pilot episode. It was pretty good. Like basically, Hulk Hogan and his friend Brew are both like men on a boat. It looks like a speedboat with guns on it. It looks like a stealth speedboat, and they basically like are just like two dudes chilling out, former Navy SEAL guys, and they had to go into Cuba to extricate some guy's wife, and they had a cool like fight scene with the boat, and the boat had like crap! I put my finger on the glue. I didn't even Well, like a little Q-tip cotton is on there too. Whatever, I'll sand it sooner than later. I haven't really seen Zoid. Like I said, I seen a friend draw a picture of a dog with like machine parts years ago in like the early 2000s, and that's all I can tell you I know personally, or know, more or less what I know about. That's the extent of what I know about Zoid. Zoid's on, if I recommend it, if I get a little plot, something to reel me in, I might check it out. Surprisingly, I'm more likely to watch something if I get a good spoiler from someone who likes it. Interesting. So Mike was mentioning that Harmony Gold fought Hasbro over the use of the original Jetfire from Transformers due to the figure originally being a Macross toy. Those cunts. Those motherfuckers. See, that's what I'm talking about. Those miserable pricks. It's like they know the Japanese guy made the fucking toy. They'd be like, nah, it's an our copy of the show that we dubbed. Got water on my desk, so I might as well use it to sand. I touched the glue like 5 times. Oh man, I have like a little spot there. Almost got it buffed down. Yeah, so I used to watch Baywatch, not so much Thunder in Paradise, but I did watch a little bit of both. I definitely watched more Baywatch back in the day, but I stumbled into that show, Thunder in Paradise, at one point in the 90s, and it was pretty cool back then too, but I came in the middle, and the episode I saw was like, I think Hulk Hogan got arrested and put on some island with a bunch of like people, like strong people, like, so they have like a prison yard, and it's like you got like guys instead of lifting weights, they're lifting tree stumps and like heavy shit. So Hulk Hogan is doing the fucking like what do you call it? Javelin throwing. Except instead of throwing a javelin, Hulk Hogan's in the prison yard with a tree log, basically a chopped down tree, and he's throwing it like a fucking javelin. He's like, does this, and the thing goes flying pretty far and like hits a satellite dish next to the prison yard. So Hulk Hogan goes to the satellite dish to check the damage, and he realized, hey, this isn't the real satellite dish. So when he realizes it's not real satellite dish, he realizes that the guards don't actually have a tight control on the island. So I think that's when he plotted his escape, if I remember correctly. But I may not have finished the episode, but just what I can infer. But this episode, I watched the pilot. I didn't even finish the pilot episode yet, and it's all right. I mean, it's got its like ups and downs, but that's '90s TV for you, you know. It's got some weird shit going on, not like weird, but just kind of like odd, you know. People get into odd situations on '90s TV shows, you know. He took his I don't know, his ex-girlfriend's daughter parasailing, and she got mad. He actually politely apologized that he won't do it again without asking, and that was actually a good role model type scene. But I'm curious to see what like the internet would say about it today. So one day I got to make a meme of that. What the hell? There's two things I saw today I want to make a meme out of. Not a meme, but like I did make one video clip today, so that's good. I got something done. I made it from Victory Gundam, a clip. Zoids in the series are wild organic robots. I did not know that. I thought they were mostly inorganic. They used them to do simulated war games as sports in their time, like BattleBots. But the pilots in the Zoid are in the Zoids, and they have teams that compete. Ooh. Okay, all right. Gonna have to pull that up onto the bay. Oh, that's cool too. Cameos from pro wrestling. Can't go wrong with that, and especially with old school. But even did they have modern wrestlers on it? I don't know how to feel about modern wrestling, but I mean, I was never into. I tried to watch for 5 minutes when it got big in middle school. There's these like circle marks. You can see one of them right here. See that circle right there? So only thing I can think to do is sand it down the pistol grip. But then again, wait, the Gundam is going to be holding it with its hand. So you can't even see those marks when the Gundam is holding it. So I guess that's why they have the markings on those parts. So, yeah. See if I can get this finished up. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I feel like it's not looking smooth or smooth enough. I have this glass filing tool that makes shit look really smooth, but it only works on like flatter pieces. On anything around it can make a mess of it. So that is interesting. I learned things about Zoids today. And yeah, I'd be putting the chat up on screen, but I'm too lazy to. I mean, you know, in the zone. Plus, I got to be up in a few hours. So I should probably go to bed soon. But what I might do in the future is I'm going to experiment with different ways. I'm going to experiment with different ways to put the chat on screen. Like I'm thinking I could just do it straight from the chat window, like have it scrolling. Why bother even? You know, I'm going to do an experiment right now, guys. All right, this is going to be cool. So, whoops, that's not what we want. Let me just fix that. And then we gotta get that, and then we gotta go here, take OBS. So we're gonna do a cool trick. We're gonna take this, smack it in the middle of my ultra wide monitor. I'm gonna try something insane. We're gonna try window capture chat overlay. And then what we do is like cover it up like that, and Am I sharing my screen like that right now? Oh, yeah, it might technically be. I hope that's not too disorienting. Yeah, it shouldn't be too disorienting. So what we're doing is just kind of like doing a little, then we could maybe truncate it to down here. Then we go to filters, color overlay. Actually, color key. Color key. Why did I say color overlay? I think it's, there we go. And this is where it gets a little tricky. No idea what color to pick, but I would probably pick dark black first. So what that just did was it filtered out the black part. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take the OBS window and put it anywhere else. Okay, so it's not like it could work. Oh, I got to copy and paste it. So it could work, like it could kind of work, but I feel like there's got to be I need to put like a color behind it, like an actual colored layer, like make it more readable. And I would need to truncate it more if I wanted to like fit more lines of text, but that would sort of be limiting, but I think that might even work for me. I might even be able to glance at the preview window and read the chat as it's coming in. That would be kind of cool, huh? That might work. Hmm. Whoa, far out, man. I'm seeing multiple chats. Hell yeah, if you do a Zoid build stream, Padawannabe, I'd be happy to be on. To join it. I'd be building something. Yeah, I did one build stream with the guy who controls the Gator puppet on Snowdub. Not Snowdub. Well, he does appear on Snowdub, but he's got his own channel. Gator. He's a friend of Punk Waddle. He's a friend of Floral. Under a rock from under a rock. Oh yeah, that's the other shirt I wore the other day. I wore a Floral from under a shirt, rock shirt, and it was a white T-shirt. But does it count if I have it in like if it's got a picture on it? It's got a picture on it. It's got green text that says Floral from under a rock. The problem with my Floral shirt is because it has green text, it kind of clashes with my green background. So I have to get a blue background if I want to wear that shirt on stream. Well, I don't have to, but if I want to, show the color green on it, I do. The green comes up as the color gray, and possibly the color of the background that I think about it, because my background is gray usually. So that's like the only issue, but no big deal. Nah, Gator's operated by that guy. Yeah, Padawannabe. The operator of the Gator puppet is Snacks and Friends, formerly Snacks and Comics, but he's now Snacks and Friends. And he's the person who operates Gator and Coach. Tonight on the show, on the Snowdub show, he operated Coach. Coach is like a gigantic fucking red puppet, and he talks like he goes to the gym all the time. And he was filming in his car, so he goes, "Hey guys, hey, I'm waiting in the parking lot to get my my workout vitamins." And obviously he's joking about taking steroids, but he called them vitamins. That was funny. Yes, yes, Flo, yep, you're correct, Padawannabe. He made the dragon, Puff, the dragon, as he calls him Puff, basically, that's his name. And he's a dragon. For some reason, he's always got a foggy haze floating around him when he appears on the show. And do I see Gray's name in anything? I heard Gray. I heard a rumor Gray is here. I missed it. I missed it. Ah, there we go. We got Wakazashi's tea house. Good to see you, man. I should be in bed, and you are probably supposed to be up working right now. No, I'm kidding. I don't know if it's morning or afternoon, but it's funny, man. I love time zones. In fact, I know what time it is in Japan. That's easy. It's 1 plus 2, so it's like 3 p.m. Good afternoon, Wakazashi, Mr. Gray. Good to see you. So I'm just polishing my Gunpla. Where's the weapon set? Yeah, I got weapon set for my Victory Gundam here. And so I've been practicing basically removing the panel lines, because usually you gotta assemble them in halves, right? So on this one here, we got like a line in the middle somewhere, if I can find it. See, I already sanded it. I still gotta polish it. Right here, see that line where my index finger is? So basically, you get like a very distinct panel line, but apparently if you sand it a little and put some glue on the line, yeah, you put glue, in fact, from your homeland, or not your homeland, your present homeland, you put this stuff on, Tamiya, extra thin cement, you put it on a seam, let it, dry or whatever, and then you sand it down, and I usually do it between like a dry and wet sanding with different levels of grit, and it removes the freaking line. Like, there's supposed to be a line right here between two halves. Two halves have a line. We don't have a line. We have a faint line here, but I'm not going to go batshit insane trying to remove the whole thing. Almost 2 p.m. My mathematics... Oh, yeah. Wait. But I thought you were plus 14. Do you guys not do daylight savings time over there? That must be it. That must be it, Gray. You people, not you, but people in your land do not do daylight savings. Because we have that bullshit here. What I explained, I think that explains it. So let's see, in the fall, I'm going to fall back. Yeah! And okay, so spring forward and fall back. So in the fall, we fall back. And then it will be, it'll be, time to, have 14. It would be 14. If we went back an hour, I'm sorry, I got to reset my brain. If we fell back an hour, it would be 1400 where you are. Wait. Now, my math is still fucked up. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. Well, you get the idea. We gained the extra hour because you're up 1 hour ahead. So I just noticed while I was talking right now, I was distracted because I saw like an interesting rough pattern, and it seems like there's glue coming out from underneath. I don't know if it's kind of slimy, but that's kind of weird right there. Don't know why it started getting rough there, but we're going to try to sand it more and see if it goes away. That's smart. Well, Japan is an enlightened country for stopping that daylight savings bullshit, man. It freaks me out in the winter. I mean, in the spring. Actually, I love it in the winter. I love falling back in the winter because I get an extra hour of sleep. And for someone who should be up in like a few hours for work, it's always good to get an extra hour back. That I can tell you for sure. But other than that, it's freaking annoying in the fall. In the spring, because I lose an hour of sleep, and once again, as someone who's be up in a few hours, losing an hour of sleep really gets me uptight. Mother effer, I don't know where my glass file is. Pardon my French. Censored French. It was here on my desk just a day ago. Oh wait, I know where it is. I actually put it away. Yes. I buried it in my desk. So this thing is weird. It's kind of cool. I don't know if it's a good idea. But it has some interesting properties, this tool. Okay, so there's our rough mark, right? This here is a glass file. And it's super fine. But it only has one, like, grit or whatever you call it. So I'm like a little annoyed that it's not like the one with multiple sides to it. We're going to try to like get at this. I don't know if I'm supposed to go both ways with it. I literally don't even know how to operate it. How about that? If I mess it up this time, I'm gonna have to put putty on it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for battle damage soon. This is the weirdest. The plastic is doing some weird stuff. I wonder if that's. I definitely went crazy on this butt of the rifle earlier, but I didn't know how to sand it properly when I did it the first time. That's why I've over sanded it so much. But I think there's like a layer of glue underneath the plastic or some insane magic like that. This plastic does not have the same properties it did when I started working on it. Let's see what. Let's double check it. Yeah. In fact, the glass flower has caused more harm than good, as expected. Got to get a close look at it. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna clean it with 99% alcohol. So you can tell where the glass flower hits it and makes it shiny, but there's just something up with that material there. So I'm gonna go and start over. This is gonna be the last piece I sand tonight, but I'm gonna do this. Maybe I'll do one more piece. Well, I'm gonna do an inspection, but something went. Nah, yeah, I thought it did too, but either my chat window stopped, but it looks like you're here. So I think we just people just chilling out right now. That's cool. I gotta like I should probably put some music on. I mean, obviously, the pitfalls of putting music on, but I believe I can find music that I can safely put on. The other day I did a test and I was getting away with murder. Yep. I think it's working. I'm like that overlay is my chat window on my right monitor. Like I'm literally just capturing this with a black background, black color key. In fact, that's not black, that's a shade of gray, which is kind of interesting because that's why the chat isn't completely transparent because I'm only filtering out black. I'm not filtering out that proper color. That's kind of cool. I'd have to like open the picture. I'd have to take a screenshot, open it in Photoshop, and use the eyedropper to like know what the heck font that is. So I might watch an episode of Victory Gundam before bed. Victory Gundam, I'm almost done watching it. Everyone dies. I had one messed up episode, so I need to re-download that one episode if I can find it anywhere, or find a way to like, I don't know, I might be stuck watching a synopsis until I can buy the series. But I can't believe it. I have the whole series, and I have one corrupted episode. Like, I can't play that episode. Maybe I could try repairing the video encoding, but I think it's just corrupted. Okay, it's coming out better now. I think I'm starting to see the line again, but at this time I'm not going to go and try to get rid of the line. I might just leave it like that. It's sort of cool for it not to be shiny. Oh my god, the line is coming back. I'm not saying this anymore. That is insane, though. How insane is that shit? How line is coming back? Like, am I really gonna put glue on it and let it sit overnight and then come back to it on Wednesday? I might, but it's kind of annoying me now. I don't want to overly sand the material from the bottom, so I might just have to like cut my losses and paint it. Yeah, maybe I'll just paint it anyway because some of these parts need painting. So I think the barrel is fine. Bottom of the barrel is basically fine. I'm not removing the seam over there. I'll have to clean it up later. There's still glue there, but I'm not going to go crazy on that. Heck no. In fact, I'll try to sand it off right now. Not even going to try. Like, I'll clean that up more, but I'm not even going to try to remove that panel line. The top is basically good, right? Look at that. You can barely see any evidence that I did. Wait, did it get scuffed up? I got glue on that, maybe? That, I need to gently treat. He's like, I went straight 7,000 grit. I'm not trying to rough this up at all. Yeah, I had some crusted material on top. But you know, it's cool. I've never sanded this part of the top with a 7,000 grit sandpaper. So maybe I can make this shinier. A little dink on the back of that. But for the most part, you know, after a little cleanup, not a lot. It should be good. I have to redo the paint here. No big deal. I wasn't counting on the paint staying. If I do a real paint job on here, I could really make it look nicer. But I'll research painting these before I paint it. But you know what? I got like a little crock clips that can hold it up. Maybe that's a good idea. Don't paint my Gundam, just paint my weapons instead. In fact, realistically, if I want to make the beam bazooka up here look good, it has to be painted. This is not the white. When you put this together, there's no decals. This does come with decals, however. This set comes with a ton of decals. That I can say. so I can actually name these. I might even be able to read these under my webcam next time. Okay, good. So that's the Earth Federation, which just like Macross or Robotech, the United Nations, UNT Spacey, I think it's the Federation Navy comes from the UN, but is not UN controlled anymore, you know? So this is, I believe, might be one of the logos for the Ligue Militaire. I can't really read it. Now, up here, I can tell you these logos. That is the Ligue Militaire. LM is in my bottom left corner. This is another Ligue Militaire logo. It's sort of like they're modeled after the French resistance movement, but they're resisting the Zanskar Empire, which we'll get to that in a moment. I think that says ZM. I want to say that's a Zanskar Empire logo, but I can't be sure. LM for Ligue Militaire again, so we got a few extras there. I believe that's also maybe Ligue Militaire. Down here, so you got the Yellow Jacks, Vespa. Vespa is the let me say that in English. The Ballistic Embargo Space Patrol Army. Basically, as the Earth Federation's influence wanes, they still exist at this point in the timeline, but they're not really as powerful as they once were. They have a lot of ships from the previous wars, but anyway, these guys set up at Side 2, one of the groups of space colonies. They set up their own like mobile suit army, which are like mechs. Then you got the Side 7 logo. I believe Side 7 was neighboring Side 2, except these guys, they were not directly affiliated by the people running at Side 2. They kind of got like signed a treaty with the Zanskar Empire, but they didn't actually submit to Zanskar control completely per se. So they sort of had like a quasi relationship, if I'm remembering correctly. And you got another space colony logo right here. See, that's an O'Neill cylinder. If you look up O'Neill cylinder, it's a type of space colony. It's freaking cool. It was designed by a guy at NASA in like the 70s. Now, I believe one of these logos are from a mobile suit team. So that's the bad guys. This might be the good guys. I'm not really sure. Actually, they look like they're from Earth. But I want to say one of these logos might say Strike Team. But I couldn't tell you which logo represented the Strike Team. But the Strike Team, the first time they introduced them on Victory Gundam was like episode 10 or something. And it's basically a mobile suit team of all girls. And I get it, but it wasn't bad. It was pretty well done, they were girly enough, but they were good mobile suit pilots. And they freaking pretty much lose one every other episode after that. So they start over 6 girls in these mobile suits called Gun Blaster. I might even have a picture of a Gun Blaster here. I hope I have a Gun Blaster picture here. Okay, there's no picture of a Gun Blaster here. It's too bad. I wanted to show you a Gun Blaster. A Gun Blaster has a Gundam-like head, but it's not a Gundam. And that's why it's not a Gundam. Yeah. Now, I was going to show something else, but I should probably get my Austin. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show something real quick. Yeah. Right. So for the conclusion of today's show, I think we're going to move that chat window up higher. There we go. Yeah, I got to play with that, but I kind of like it that it actually works. So, where the heck is I started with this. I didn't actually start with this. I had to adjust these sliders to get the contrast. Before this, it was just washed out. And then if we go, where's my Photoshop? My Photoshop closed. I wonder if I crashed Photoshop. Oh, I closed it before. I was trying to clean up my apps. Well, we'll open up a recent document. And then I'm going to bed. I'm not going to fall asleep, but I'm going to go to bed. And what I should do is I should put these mobile suit parts back in the bag before I forget, right? You know, we don't want to lose any Gundam parts here, okay? I already misplaced a fighter plane, literally misplaced a core fighter. I gotta check out Tron's new vlog video. I'm gonna do that tomorrow morning, but I gotta check it out. He updated another vlog. He's recording them using an AI voice right now, like a different AI voice. Like it's a moving face. This guy in a suit doing, you know, a moving voice. So that's kind of cool. So anyway, what we got here is the Pac-Man Nebula. Yeah, I don't know why. I just had an urge to eat a random fortune cookie on my desk. Here, let's do a fortune cookie review real quick. So we found a fortune cookie on my desk today. It's a golden bowl, you know, fortune cookie. What I always like about fortune cookies is that they look like alien spaceships, right? Look at that shit. It looks like a clam or a flying clam. It used to look like a flying clam. Now it's missing a side, but they look like flying clams. Now, if fortune cookie fortunes weren't bullshit, I'd be afraid to read it on air. But, I mean, this was invented by a toy company or a joke company in the 20s, so, you know. The measure of time to your next goal is the measure of your discipline. All right? And if you go to their website, you can get another fortune. They're probably doing a bunch of data mining up there, but they're giving you lucky numbers too. You could rewind and pause it if you actually think those lucky numbers will help. But let's be real here. They're made randomly. So anyway, problem is that we have stars that I want to filter out somehow. But I don't remember how.